Hi guys, this is Ivy from Womply, here to show you how to fill out the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program form powered by SmartBiz to hopefully make things a little bit easier. In this particular case, we're going to go ahead and work through this together step by step, piece by piece, with what it looks like if you're applying for your second round of PPP. So, starting at the top and working our way down, we're going to enter in our first name, last name, business name, email address, phone number, and then of course the type of business. In our particular case, we're going to go ahead and select corporation, and we're going to continue scrolling down. After that point in time, it's going to ask us for the requested loan amount. This is going to be the total amount in which you're trying to be able to request for your PPP, or it's 2.5 times your average monthly payroll cost. If you're not sure how to be able to get your requested payroll amount, all you have to do is hold your mouse on top of this little gray question mark and it gives you the information. After that, I have a little checkbox that says, I have reviewed and understand and agreed to the SmartBiz terms of service, privacy policy, and consent to electronic communications. The person agreeing here possesses the authority to bind the business to these agreements. If the business does not meet the requirements of our SBA lenders, I agree that SmartBiz may refer to it for other lending partners that have different rates. After we've entered in all this information, we're going to go ahead and click Continue to Pre-Qualify. After that, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. It says, hi, here's what we're going to do next. We know you're busy. This takes less than 5 minutes. First, understanding your financing needs. Second, getting to know your business. And third, helping you apply for your loan. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click the blue Let's Get Started. What it's going to say is, did your business get a Paycheck Protection Program PPP loan last year? In our case, we're going to go ahead and click yes. And then it's going to ask you, what was the amount for the previous loan? It was $50,000. We're going to go ahead and press Save and Continue. Next, when did OTO Analytics get started? That's the name of my business. We're going to go ahead, we're going to click 6 to 10 years ago because we started in 2012. Then we're going to press Save and Continue. What is your business industry? We're going to pick the one in the drop-down that is the best option for us. So we're going to click Select the drop-down. We're going to scroll down a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick Other Services. We're going to go ahead and pick Professional Services. And we're going to press Save and Continue. After that, it's going to ask, where's your business located? We scroll down a little bit and we're going to search for our address. Now, this is a little bit tricky. What you have to do is you're going to enter in your address to the best of your ability, 548 Market Street. However, you have to select it from the drop-down as they pull up. Otherwise, it will not allow you to be able to press Save and Continue, and it will continue to stay gray. Again, when you're entering in any kind of an address directly into this particular application system, you have to select your address from the drop-down. After you verify that you have in fact selected from the drop-down and you press Save and Continue, you're going to be on a page that looks just like mine. It's going to ask, how many employees do you have? In my particular case, it's 250, so it's between 1 and 500 employees, but pick the one that's best for you. Press Save and Continue. And then it's going to say, great, let's save your progress. Please create a password. So make sure, again, when it comes to creating a password, you have this written down somewhere in some way, shape, form, or capacity to make sure that you can get back into your application. This is going to be necessary if you do have to go back to make any kind of adjustments. After that, it says, thanks. We're helping small businesses like yours get back on track with the Paycheck Protection Program loan. Next, we're going to ask a couple of questions about the business owners. We're going to press Save and Continue. Next, it's going to say, who owns more than 20% of OTO Analytics? If it's a person or if it's a business. In my case, it's a person. What if my business is a nonprofit? Doesn't apply to us. What it's going to do is it's going to have us enter in our information. Our first name, our last name, percentage of ownership, house address. Again, we have to enter the address and click it from the drop down to make sure that we can move forward. Then it's going to have us enter in our date of birth and our social security number. Once we verified that we've entered in the information to the best of our ability, we're going to go ahead and press Save Owner Info. After you've entered in the save owner information, it's going to bring you to a little box below that says, I certify that all information entered this far into the application is accurate and that I am the principal owner of OTO Analytics, that you're authorized to act on behalf of this and your grant permission for SmartBiz lenders, and lenders who participate in the SmartBiz procedure to review their credit report. This will not impact the credit score and will not show up as an inquiry. You're going to go ahead and press I certify and see what you pre-qualify for. After that, it says, thank you, you pre-qualify for the Paycheck Protection Program, and you're going to press continue. Now it's going to ask us for a whole bunch of information. First, it's going to ask us for our financials, and it's going to ask us for a payroll analysis. So, to fill out the payroll analysis, we're going to do it together. We're going to scroll down, we're going to press begin. First, it's going to have us enter in our business information. So what is our business entity type? In our case, we're an S corporation, so we picked that from the drop-down. Next, how many W-2 employees does your business have? This does not include 1099 contractors. 1099 contractors must file on their own. We'll do a video on that a little bit later. In my particular case, we have 250 employees, so we went ahead and entered that. After that, it's going to ask you what industry is your business in. This is the equivalent to your 6-digit NAICS code. So we're actually going to enter in our NAICS code right here. If you don't know your NAICS code, that's totally okay. All you have to do is search for it online and you can easily pull it up from there. However, you do need that NAICS code in order to be able to continue, just so that the government knows how to be able to classify your business. You enter that code here. You're going to pick it from the drop-down again, making sure we pick everything from the drop-downs, and we continue. Then it's going to ask us for the month and the year in which our business started. Once all of the information is correct, we're going to go ahead and click that blue continue button. After that, it's going to ask us to choose a document type, whether that's a CARES Act report. That means that if they use a payroll provider such as Paychex, ADP, Gusto, or other similar company, or tax documents. That could be your 1120S, your 1065, your 1120, 1040, 99 for 990 for nonprofits, etc. So, in my particular case, we're going to go ahead and click tax document. After that point in time, we're going to go scroll down and press continue. After that, it's going to ask us to choose another tax document. So, it'll have things like your Form 1120S, Form 1065 if you're a partnership, Form 1120 if you're a corporation. In my case, I'm a Form 1120S. Please make sure that you select the document that's going to be best for you and your particular business type. If you are an independent contractor or sole proprietor, you may have filed the 1040, for instance. I picked 1120S, and we're going to press continue. After that, it's going to ask us to calculate the loan amount. First, we're going to please choose the taxpayer employer form. So that would be 941 or the 940. In my case, it's a quarterly tax return. It's the form 941. After that, it's going to ask us to be able to find all 4 quarters of your IRS Form 941 from either the year 2019 or 2020. After that, it's going to ask us for some information. So for instance, it's going to enter the number from line 5C, column 1, from your most recent quarter. After that, it'll ask you for the line from line C, column 1, your second most recent quarter. After that, it's going to ask for your third most recent quarter and your fourth most recent quarter. After that, it'll give you your total amount that you're typically bringing in a month, which is about $200,000 in my case. After that, do you have any employees that make more than $100,000 per year? Yes or no? In my case, we're going to go ahead and click no. After that, it says annualized cap gross wages. This is the total amount. After that, we're going to go down into the section for the Form 1120S. You will want to be able to bring out your tax documentation to be able to help you fill out this section. From here, you're going to enter in the line from line 17, titled Pension, Profit Sharing, etc. Plans. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that in here. Next, we're going to enter in line 18, titled Employee Benefit Programs. We're going to enter in that information right here. Now that we've got all that information ready to go, it's going to show me right here. Annual payroll costs, this is the sum for the total, annual monthly payroll, and your PPP loan amount. After you verify all of that information, it's going to say, please share any explanation about the information provided that you believe would be beneficial for us when reviewing your application. Please go ahead and enter in anything here. You could say, these tax docs are from 2019. Just like that. Any and all information that you have right there, and then you're going to go ahead and press continue. After that, if when you were guesstimating on the previous page, your loan amount is different than the amount that you entered directly into this section of the form, that's okay. It's going to tell you your loan amount will be updated from $50,000 to this. The adjustment is based on this. Would you like to proceed? And you're going to press confirm. After that, it's going to take us into this section where we're going to upload our documents. So first, we're going to upload our 4 quarters of the IRS Form 941. So we're going to click right here. We're going to go to my documents. There's my 941 quarter 1. Takes a couple of seconds. We'll let that upload. Next, we're going to go right here, Q2 of our 941, ready to go into the system. Give it a couple of seconds to upload. Next, again, we're going to click that right there. We're going to enter in Q3. Give it a couple of seconds to upload to be able to put directly into the system. And then last but not least, one more, Q4, enter directly into the system, and we're good to go. After all of those documents, you can see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 are all directly in the system. We're going to scroll down. It's going to ask us for our IRS Form 1120. Remember, this is the one that we selected that we were going to enter directly into the system a couple pages ago. So I click right there. There's my Form 1120S. I'm going to press open. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds for it to upload into the system. Once I've verified that my Form 112S is right here. Excellent. Now it's going to tell you, thank you for providing your financial information. Now it's going to give you 2 different pathways to either complete your business information or upload supporting documents. So now we're going to go ahead and click Continue Business Information. This is going to take you to a page that looks just like mine, where it says, let's get to know you and your business. Note, this is not 2 different applications. We get that question all the time. All this is that it's broken into 2 different sections where the questions will be around your specific business versus you as the owner. They ask for different specifications and different qualifications and different sets of information. It's just for organization purposes. I promise, don't worry. So instead, we're going to press that bright blue, continue, and go from there. We're going to start with about the business. So basic information. So this is your doing business as. If you have a different name that you're doing business as, your business phone number. Does this business engage in, or is the business a barred category? If you need to explain this, go ahead and click explain this and it opens it up for you. We're going to press no. Is this business a franchise? We're also going to click no. Is the applicant or any owner of the applicant presently suspended, debarred, proposed for debarment, declared ineligible, voluntarily excluded from participation in this transaction? Yes or no? We're going to click no. Has the applicant received an SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan between January 31st, 2020 and April 3rd, 2020? Again, in my case, we're going to click no. Is the applicant, if an individual or any owner of the applicant owning more than 20% of the equity, subject to an indictment, criminal information, arraignment, or by other means by which formal criminal charges are brought in any jurisdiction? We're going to go ahead and we're going to click no. Within the last 5 years for any felony involving fraud, bribery, embezzlement, or a false statement in a loan application for federal financial assistance, or within the last year for any felony, has the applicant, if an individual, or any owner of the applicant been convicted, pleaded guilty, pleaded nolo contendere, or commenced any form of parole? Again, we're going to go ahead and click no. Once we do that, now we're going to go into the section called revenue. Did the business experience a decrease in gross revenue of 25% or more when comparing one quarter of 2020 to the same quarter in 2019? We're going to click yes. In order to be able to qualify for the PPP, this is one of those things that you do in fact have to qualify for. After that, we're going to go ahead and click right here. So right here where it says, in which quarter of 2020 did the business experience this drop in revenue? You're going to pick the quarter that's most applicable where you saw this 25% gap. In my case, that's quarter 3. We're going to press continue. After that, it's going to ask us for a business story. So this is going to be describing the history of your business. What types of products and services do you provide? Perfect. We've entered in what our story is. This is just to be able to give them some information about who you are. And then we're going to press continue. After that, it's going to say the purpose of the loan. So we're going to pick as many of these that are applicable for our particular business as possible. So that could be employee salaries, rent or mortgage, utilities, operations expenditures, property damage costs, work protection expenditures, or supplier costs. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and click employee salaries because that's the one that makes the most sense to me and fits my particular use of the Paycheck Protection Program loan, but please click anything and everything that's applicable to you and your business. Then press continue. After that, you'll end up on a page that looks just like this. Remember this one a couple minutes ago? It says you and your business. Look, there's a bright green check mark saying that our portion about the business is complete. Now we're going to go into the section about us. So we're going to press start. It's going to ask us for our basic information. So it's going to ask for our phone number, our email address, our experience. So that could tell you what your experience is at your particular company. So it'll ask for things like your job title. In my particular case, we're going to go ahead and click owner. Not including businesses applying for this loan, do you own 50% or more of another business? I'm going to go ahead and click no and press continue to step 2. After that, it asks you for some basic demographic information. So things like, what is your ethnicity? Are you a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces? Which race do you identify with? And what is your gender? Once you fill all those out, go ahead and press continue. It does have to be blue in order for you to be able to move forward with the application. After that, it says, thanks for telling us about your business. Next, we need a few final details regarding your loan. See, we're almost there. Next, it's going to say go to closing. Oh, so it's just going to ask us for a couple more pieces of information. So just like the last couple of portals, you can see up here, there's the business information, and down here, this is our information as the owner. Let's go ahead and click continue. From there, it's going to ask us for some basic business details. Things like, what is the mailing address for this particular business? Go ahead and make sure that you select your business from the drop-down. Next, it's going to ask for your employer identification number. As always, any and all information I show you guys in videos just like these is 100% falsified. It's to make it a little bit easier for us to, make it as close to your experience as possible. After that, it's going to ask us for some SBA required questions. So first, are the products and services of the business available to the general public? Go ahead and click yes or no. How many jobs will be created as a result of this loan? Go ahead and enter in that number. How many jobs will be retained as a result of this loan that would have been lost otherwise? Go ahead and enter that number as well. Has the applicant, any owner of the applicant, or any business owned or controlled by any of them ever obtained a direct or guaranteed loan from the SBA or any other federal agency that is currently delinquent or has defaulted in the last 7 years and caused a loss to the government? Yes or no? Is the United States a principal place of residence for all employees included in the applicant's payroll calculations? Yes or no? Is the principal of the business or the business applicant a customer of one of the following banks? Please select all that apply. So that could be Cadence Bank, Center State, Tab, Customers Bank, etc. If you're a customer of any of the following, please go ahead and select this from the drop-down. In my particular case, it's none of the above. After that, it's going to ask us for your business checking account details. So things like your bank name, your routing number, and your account number. After you've entered in all this information to the best of your ability, go ahead and click Save and Continue. After that, it's going to ask you to wrap up the final details of your loan. We've gone ahead. You can see that there's a bright green check next to the top one. Let's go ahead and click on our name below. It's going to ask us for some personal information. So these will things be like your personal identification information. So this will be your driver's license or your passport. You can click either one of those. You're going to select the state if you're using your driver's license, as I am in this particular example. Go ahead. I'm going to click California. We're going to enter in our driver's license number. And then your expiration date. Once you've entered all that information, it's going to take you to a page that looks just like mine that says you're almost done. We just need your authorization. And it states by checking this box, the borrower or authorized representative certifies that the applicant was in operation on February 15, 2020, has not permanently closed, and was either an eligible self-employed individual, independent contractor, sole proprietorship with no employees, or had employees for whom it paid salaries and payroll taxes, or paid independent contractors as reported on Forms 1099 MISC. The current economic uncertainty makes this loan request necessary to support the ongoing operations of the applicant. The applicant has not and will not receive another loan under the Paycheck Protection Program. The applicant has not and will not receive a shuttered venue operator grant from the SBA. The applicant has not and will not receive a shuttered venue operator grant from the SBA. The president, vice president, head of an executive department, or member of Congress, or the spouse of such person as determined under applicable common law, does not indirectly or directly hold a controlling interest in the applicant. You further certified that the information provided in this application and the information provided in all supporting documents and all forms is true and accurate in all material respects, and you acknowledge that the lender will confirm the eligible loan amount using the required documents submitted. After you've gone ahead and you've read through all of those, go ahead and click Save and Continue. After that, it'll say, please provide some supporting documents. Again, just like every other portal, we have one for the business and we have one for us as a person. We're going to go ahead and click Continue. Next, it's going to have us confirm a couple of things. So first, you'll see your 2019 tax documents up here at the top. This is where our form 1120S from the previous page ended up being. So you can see it's actually right there off to the side. If you have a different piece of information that you would like to upload, go ahead and click Upload right here. This is also where you would put things like your Schedule F or your Schedule C. Underneath that is your supporting tax documents. So that will be where your IRS 941s live, your 944, your 1096, etc. Any of those particular supporting tax documentation, as you can see, we can verify that right here from the previous page, Q1, 2, 3, and 4. Last but not least, it has our business funding. The last thing it's going to have us do is confirm our business was in operation as of February 15th of 2020. So it's going to have us upload some kind of piece of documentation that states that. That could be a bankroll statement, that could be a payroll statement, bank statement, or any kind of similar documentation that shows that we were in business and operating on February 15th of 2020. So we're going to go ahead and click right here where it says click to browse for a document. I'm going to go to my documents. I'm actually going to use a bank statement for this particular example. So I have them in my bank statements folder. There's my bank statement from 2020. We're going to go ahead and click open. Give it a couple of seconds, and we're going to click Save and Continue. After that, it states, thanks for providing all the required documents. Great job of completing all your requirement documents at this time. Next, continue with your loan app. Now, all you have to do is click Track My Loan. Once you go ahead and click Track Your Loan, it's going to take you to a page that looks just like mine, where you can look at your current application status, where it says Finalize, SmartBiz Review, Bank Review, e-signature, and Funding, showing you where you're at in the process, what your current status is with the application, and your application number, and if you wish to be able to view your application itself. If you do run into any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always feel free to reach out to us. However, at this point in time, what's going to happen is the lender is going to reach out to you directly by email if they do have any other additional questions, comments, concerns, or need for any other additional information from you. You should be able to see that within a couple of days.